Hey guys, I've recently been obsessed with this little rhythm game called beatblock. It is awesome, but what really captured my attention is the level editor. It allows you to get incredibly creative. At this point, I've sunk over 100 hours into it and I don't regret a single one. However, this eventually made me decide to retread a path I've been down before, putting a video inside of it. And since the process was not too dissimilar to what I had to go through for 3 out of the 5 past videos on this channel, I've decided to talk about what I had to go through in order to achieve that both in the past and for this current project. First of all, why? I don't know, I thought it'd be funny. Second of all, how? Alright, let's get into it. So where do you even start? Last time I checked, you can't exactly drag and drop on MP4 into the game and it'll just work. So we'll have to do a step backwards and start with adding a single image into the game. If we can manage that, we should just be able to add them sequentially, since a video is just a series of pictures after all. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Firstly, doing that for beatblock isn't that difficult since the game has a whole decoration system which you can use inside your levels. I mean, we can't just exactly add any plain old image into it, but we can come back to this later. Now, Google Snake is a little bit more complex. Remember that Bad Apple video? Well, since the video includes only 2 colors, I use the game's walls as pixels, as you can see in the plain version. And then, I just retextured everything so it looks nice. So here comes our first roadblock. Colors. Thankfully, the solution I found was relatively straightforward, and I was using the game's apples. With only minor modifications to my previous method, I could place any fruit I wanted to on the board, and that included custom-made ones. So what I had to do was create custom apples that were just colored squares in order to represent all the pixels in my image. But how many colored squares do I need? No, seriously, how many of these do I need to make? 20? 50? Looking at it, probably hundreds or even thousands, considering at this size, each frame alone is over 400 unique pixels. Something needed to be done. This brings us to possibly the most important topic of this video: color quantization. Color quantization is a process which takes an image and greatly reduces the amount of colors it contains down to a desired number, while still keeping the image recognizable. Remember something about not being able to add just any image into beatblock? Well, here's where color quantization comes in handy. Because the game only allows for 8 colors to be present at any given time, in order to add images into the game, we'll have to reduce the amount of colors they include down to 8. This can be done easily in most image editing software, but if you had to do this hundreds or perhaps thousands of times, maybe for all the frames in a video, you'd be better off doing it through code. However, back in Google Snake, applying this to every frame doesn't help too much, since reducing down to even 10 colors would require 300 different colors for the 10 seconds of footage I wanted to use. So I had to get creative and apply color quantization in a different manner. Since the video features many similar scenes, what if I could reuse pixels shown in the past to save space? That's exactly what I did. Instead of only taking the colors for each frame, I took every color from every frame and reduced those down by taking the similar looking ones and grouping them together. That way, I managed to limit the number of colors down to 60, which was a lot easier to insert into the game. And with that, most of our issues are now solved. I could use all the available colors to play any video I desired. Yeah, of course it was that one. Anyway, now let's get back to beatblock. Over here, even though color quantization is as easy as the press of a button, the game has a different quirk. The 8 colors it allows aren't just any colors, they are these 8 specific colors shown on screen. So if you'd like to insert a colorful image, you first have to make it look something like this, and then using set color triggers within the editor, you can determine what each of those colors represent. It's a process. Even though this complicates things, it isn't anything a little bit of coding can't solve. We replace some colors here, insert things into the game there, and bam, we're done. We only needed a few thousand frames or so. In any case, after a little bit of optimization, we can get the game to actually play our video. Did you really expect this one to not be a Rickroll as well? If it's any consolation, I also did a Waffle House training video as a test. But that just wraps things up. I didn't go into excruciating detail over every hurdle I had to cross, but this just about covers my process for tackling a project like this one. Maybe now you'll decide to insert your own favorite video into a video game you care about. Thank you all for watching, and in case you were wondering why I didn't do Bad Apple inside of beatblock as well, sadly someone beat me with a punch. Well, 3 people in fact, but who's counting? If you want to check out any of the final products, they will all be in the description. Peace.